Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hello everyone, and here are your FET news for this week. Join host Andrew FRETT every Thursday for FRETT's Education Thoughts, where he discusses his own opinions and thoughts about the topics on Future Educators Talk and what's happening around the world. Follow and subscribe to my own podcast, DAMIAN Talks Education, everywhere you stream your podcast at. And make sure you subscribe to the podcast YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. New episodes of Future Educators Talk drops on Thursdays. So follow and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. Follow Future Educators Talk on social media. You can go to facebook.com/Future Educators Talk and like our page. On Instagram at Future Educators Talk, and on Twitter at Future Ed Talk. So follow our podcast. And follow your host of Future Educators Talk on social media. You can follow me, Damian Anderson, on Instagram at @DamianAnderson, and on Twitter at _Damian Anderson. You can follow Andrew FRETT on Instagram at It's Andrew FRETT, and on Twitter at Darren_FRETT. And you can follow KJ Johnson II on Instagram and Twitter at KJ Johnson II. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Future Educators Talk, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of our video version episodes that we upload. Also, you can now listen to past episodes of our show on YouTube and on all the podcast platforms that we are located on. Now sit back and relax because a new episode of Future Educators Talk is starting now. Hello everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Future Educators Talk. We are your co-hosts, Damian, Andrew, and KJ. So let's get started with this special episode here. We got some exciting news to share with all of you. So let's get it started. Andrew, why don't you get us started with this here?
Don't mind if I do. We kind of talked about it a little bit in the past, I think like a couple weeks ago. But I'm here now pronounce that we have a total plays of 1,703. That is the total plays. That is the have been streamed or downloaded across all listening platforms. That means on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, all of that. So huge number to that as well.
Yes, that is incredible. That is really incredible. People really do be listening to our podcast. They really do. So I'm just excited, really am so excited.
Moving on to the estimate audience size. So this is the average number of plays each of our episodes that gets within 30 days after publishing. So the total stand in the current audience size is 16. which is a small jump from I think a couple of weeks ago, where it was 15, so it's now 16 now.
Mhm.
All right. So here are our top episodes ever since season 1. Right now, as it stands, let me do this real quick. As it stands right now, season 3, episode 10, which was back in April of this year, actually. I think it was trauma. Let me look this up real quick.
I think it probably was trauma-informed teaching, I believe.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
Trauma-informed approach to teaching through coronavirus. That was the highest top episode, followed by followed by season 3, episode 13, and also the season 3 finale. So those are the top 3 episodes that people have been listening to. So with a total of 33, 32, and 31 plays. So those are the top 3 episodes so far.
Really good.
All right. So here comes the fun part. So 91%. Here comes the fun part. 91% is from, of course, the US of A, but 6% Ireland. We got people in the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, Puerto Rico, Ukraine, Finland, France, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Germany, and Japan. So those are the countries that that have been listening to our broadcast.
That's mind blown to me. That is mind blown. We are everywhere. People all over the world are listening to our podcast, which is fantastic, I believe. So fantastic.
Yeah, so fantastic, which is really mind blown, that this many, people from all over the country has been listening to this podcast. I actually want to hear, I don't know if he's still driving or not, but I want to hear his thoughts on this.
Man, I actually just parked, man. This is amazing, man. Just hearing these statistics and hearing where everybody is from, and man, I would have never thought people from Ireland would be listening to us, man. It just shows you how much of an impact not only social media, but the need for education reform, how it spreads throughout the world. Like, it's crazy to me.
Mhm.
And it's inspiring at the same time because it makes you want to do more. It's kind of like, when you give a dog a treat and then now he gets excited and wants to do more. Well, this is our treat, and now we want to do more. We want to expand and do all this other stuff just so people can hear the needs and the voices of young educators who strive to make a difference in tomorrow's world. So it's amazing to me. It's amazing, and you love to see it, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Um, it's just mind blowing. I mean, like 4 seasons later, and we got a whole bunch of people from all across the world just listening to this podcast because you know, they do want to see a change. They do want to take action into this. So it's pretty. To me, I'm surprised and shocked that we all in this together, right? Um, so coming on this train.
Absolutely.
This
Yeah. And that's why me and you, Andrew, that we have been discussing about turning this um, podcast into a talk show because for me, I want to reach a I want to reach a much bigger audience to where we can have these conversations together and start talking about what educators should be talking about with their friends and students into the
Mhm.
classrooms because the topics that we talk about, they are not having it. And we
No.
say this often, we are the first who are doing it. And I'm glad that I jumped aboard of doing this podcast here and sharing my thoughts and my feelings and my passion of what I feel about these topics that we discuss every week. So I'm glad to be a part of this family here, and we can continue on doing this for so many years down the road. So I'm just looking forward to that day come to where we can reach a bigger and much more audience. So that's what I have to say there.
And if I may, man, I love it, man. Like from day one, I love it. Um, the talk show, man. Just thinking about, the topics we can talk about and talking about them at a deeper level, and like
Yes.
I in it and it. One thing about me, I love research. I can sit here and do research all day, sit in my office, do research all day, and man, just a thought like, hey, you give us a topic for what we're going to talk about that day. Boom, we're researching it, we're finding statistics, we're doing all of this stuff, and we're not only talking about the problems, but making, coming up with solutions to do it, and how that it can apply not only in the world today, but in the world that we are going to be teaching in the world that we're going to
Yes.
be impacting. And so, one thing that I learned over the summer participating in the summer house program was, many teachers teach kids to work 9 to 5 jobs today, which used to be teaching kids to impact the future they're going to be living in, not, the present world.
Mm-hmm.
And so us doing this and us coming up with these solutions and discussing what to do so we can make a bigger impact, man, it starts like today, and I love it. I love it. I enjoy it, man. This is all I love. I love talking about this, man. I love discussing this, man. Y'all.
I look when you know like um I was like, I could tell by when he first said a talk show, I'm like, all right, hands down, this is gonna be awesome, hands down, because we got so many stuff in store. um we're just getting started, y'all. We're just getting started. You may think that we're done, but we're just getting started. So yeah, we're gonna move along with some more statistics here. So to the right of you, to the right over here, we have 28% of people that listen to Apple Podcasts, 11% listening on Spotify, 4% on Anchor.fm, and 57% on other. I don't know what is the other is, but I don't know. I don't know what's the other. So those are your statistics of people listening on the podcast world. Moving along. I'm gonna do this one last because y'all gonna be excited for this one. All right, so 71% of those people that listen to our broadcast are male. 28% is female, and of course, 1% is non-specified and 0 non-binary. So those are the statistics of those people that listen to our broadcast. Now here comes the fun one. I think y'all will be very excited with this one. So I'm gonna start small and go up. So 4% of people listening to our broadcast are the age group is 0 to 17-year-olds. So only 4%. Okay, not bad. But y'all get ready. 50%, the age group 18 to 22 years old, listen to our broadcasts. That's right, 50%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just cop it up for 1 second, please. Let's just cop it up. Like 50%. Y'all, are you kidding me?
That's fantastic.
Are you kidding me? Yes. That means we are doing our job successfully. So I have no words. Damian, KJ.
No, it's
man. 18 to 24. That's crazy. That's the future of education in the next 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Really, in the next 2 to 10 years, because I'll be in a classroom in about a year and a half. Really, a year. I don't know when I'll be in a class, like a year and a half. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's college age students who want to be educators, and that's wow. That's all I can say.
It's mind blown.
Absolutely no words.
No, it's mind blown. We are reaching our audience here, and that's great. That is fantastic. So we are doing something good by reaching our audience here. We must be doing something fantastic. So that's just mind blown to me. Mind blown.
And like you said, you want to let's turn this to our talk show to grow more audience. This is a proof of we're doing something right. This is the proof of why, we should be turning into a talk show now. All right, let's move along here with some more. 16% of 23 to 27-year-olds listen to our broadcasts. A quarter, 25%, 28 to 34 years old. So I think that's first year / second year teachers right there. 25%. So that's only half of the 18 through 22-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. 3% of 35 to 44-year-olds. That's your veteran teachers right there. And then 45 to 59, about that 2%. So that last two is your veteran teachers right there. So that is your statistics of Future Educators Talk. And what can I say? We're doing an awesome job.
Yes, absolutely. At this age that we are doing it here. And I'm so glad that I agreed to be a part of this. Andrew, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this, because if I wasn't, and I'll talk with you this all the time, I don't know where I would be. today. I don't know. I wouldn't be using my voice how I am now on this platform here, which I'm so incredible. So I just again want to thank you again for chosen me to be a part of this amazing podcast here. We are 4 seasons in, and we are doing a fantastic job. And every guest that comes onto our podcast tells us that we are doing something powerful and amazing, and we need to keep up that good work. So I'm so proud to be a part of this.
Man, when Damien, when you asked me to come along in the summer, I was like, without a doubt, because this is what we want to do. Man, a big part of what I do is education reform, man. I want to make a difference. I want to advocate for kids that look like me. I want to advocate, I know it's not all about black kids, but, the issue here that we're facing is the opportunity gap between white students and black students. And my personal passion is to make sure all black students are advocated for. I'm not taking away anything from any other, ethnicity or race, but, that's just my passion. And using it, and I never knew, what I could do right now to do that. But now connecting with y'all and being on this podcast allows me to use my voice in a way that has never been used before. Now, I can't be in a casual conversation without saying, so-and-so number of black students don't get this or don't get that. And so with me, I'm like, I want to change that. And being connected with y'all too on this podcast, creating awareness for these issues and these methods that teachers are, especially now more than ever with this distance learning platform, man, it means the world. It means the world to me, man. So I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. This is what this is for, of bringing some amazing people who are very passionate about education. We want that on our podcast so much. And I'm glad that we created this in the first place. I really am. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
First and foremost, I'm trying not to cry right now. But listen, I'm so glad that I asked you to join this platform, this podcast, because again, I have the same passion. I feel like there's some issues out there that needs to be heard, that new educators want to talk about, and I feel like during that time, which was August of last year, nobody's really talking about it. Like you see all over social media, nobody's really talking about it. Like you may see it on Twitter here and there, but they don't have a fully conversation, like broadcast style, like we do, like we're doing. So I'm glad that I created this podcast and have two amazing people come on as a guest, as a co-host, to hop along this journey. Not even that, along with special guests too, Mr. Luther, Mr. Kwame, Mr. Morrison, all those people, all those guests come to our show just to talk about whatever topics that we discuss, and, it's just amazing to me how they're shocked, how they're surprised, how at the end of every episode, keep doing what you're doing.
Wow.
You're doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
All of that just brings motivation for us to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
I agree. So I just the people that you mentioned, Mr. Morrison, Mr. Kwame, and Mr. Morrison, they are amazing people. And I'm glad that we allowed them to come onto our podcast to share their story with us and to the world about what's passionate about them. And it's just incredible. It really is. And they tell us that we are doing fantastic of what we're doing. I wouldn't think that when we create this, that first and foremost, no one was not going to listen to us hearing what we have to say at this age that we are. And they are probably like, you guys don't know nothing, you don't have no experience, and whatever. Well, if we don't have experience, I mean, we can still share of what we feel about what's happening into the educational world because we have been through school years, middle, high school, and elementary. We have been through it all. We have seen firsthand of what needs to be done and what change needs to happen. We have seen it firsthand, and we will share that here on our podcast with so many other stories relating to that. And I'm glad that we are doing this here. I'm glad. That's all I have to say. Just because if I keep going on, I'm going to get emotional, and I don't want that to happen. So, anybody else, KJ, Andrew, any more final thoughts?
Man, the part where people say we don't have experience, man, I look at them, I'll be like, man, I didn't go through 12 years of grade school for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I know what needs to be fixed in the realm of education. I know, I've been through the process. I've had cousins, brothers, friends that's had it worse off than I had. Not saying that my experiences were bad, but I know what needs to be fixed. And us doing this connects us with people with power that can do that, because they hear our experiences, they hear our testimonials, they hear the things that we went through to better accommodate their leadership for the kids that are in there now. And then we can take those experiences, take those connections, and apply them for when we get to where we need to be, when we become teachers, when we become administrators, when we become school board members, when we become policy makers. Those are the things. This is our experience, man. And I just kind of like hear those people be like, man, I know what needs to be fixed. I'm gonna do all I can to make sure it does get fixed. And if it's about if it's standing up on my soapbox and saying that this needs to be fixed, and I'm gonna stand up on my soapbox and say, hey, you need to fix this. This needs to be fixed. Let's fix it. And so, man, that's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say, man. I go on and on about it. That's all I got to say, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yes.
I got nothing else to say. I'm trying so hard not to cry right now. So I'm tears are trying to come, but I'm trying to hold it back.
Yeah. Same with me here because me and you, Andrew, we have been through a lot since 2019 of starting this podcast here, and I believe now we are 4 seasons in, and I believe that we're fine now. I believe we are totally fine now. We're never going to go back to that place last year, and we're going to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward with this. So I have nothing else to say. Thank you guys for tuning in with us with this special episode of Future Educators Talk. Is there, since we're all here together, is there any announcements that you guys would like to announce, to share with our listeners? Anything going on to your personal lives, what you're doing, any projects you would like to share?
No, not at this time.
Thanks, not at this time. Just a couple months, I might have an announcement, so y'all just stay tuned, man. In a couple months, just wait. Not at this time. I don't want to give it away too early. It's still in the works. But just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.
Okay. Well,
Okay. A little tease there. Okay. Okay. All right.
It's the
so
suspense that matters.
So you guys know that me and Andrew, a project that we are working on is the Math Virtual Learning Session, helping students out with their math because we are future math teachers. So we are doing that. That's a current project that we are currently working on. Andrew's show is coming back this month, actually. So very excited for that, season 2 of that. Yes. And then my second season of Damian Talks Education, my other podcast, premieres in November. And that will be the last season of that because I'm moving shift. I'm mainly focused on this podcast here, and then my new podcast, Let's Talk Race with Damian. I'm very excited for that podcast there, where I'll be talking about race because, like I said in almost every episode of this podcast here, it's time for the conversations to happen. And the other day I had a conversation with Andrew about why, when George Floyd's death, why did everyone all of a sudden want to start having conversations right after his death? I don't get that. I don't understand. I don't know will I be, but why did we wait for so long when someone has to die and we all jump on board to start having these conversations now, these uncomfortable, why now? I don't get it, I don't understand, but I will share my thoughts on that. And then also there's a special announcement coming from me at the end of season 4. I already shared with Andrew and KJ, and I will let you guys know when that comes. So that's all I have. Again, thank you guys for tuning in for this special episode. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms. They will be in the description down below. Make sure you follow this podcast on social media as well. And yes, please, to stay up to date with, new episodes comes out and all the good stuff. So until then, you guys, take care of yourself. And we will see you guys back for a new episode of Future Educators Talk. So until then, take care of yourself. Please be blessed. And to wear your mask. Please wear your mask.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What's going on, everybody? It's KJ here, letting you know that if you have any questions or concerns about Future Educators Talk, stories to share, feedback to make our podcast better, reactions to the topics that we discuss, jokes to tell, or you would like someone for the co-host to interview, please let us know by direct messaging us on Instagram at Future Educators Talk, emailing us at futureeducatorstalk@gmail.com, or sending in a voice message to us by going to anchor.fm/futureedtalk. Click on the message tab to where you can record your question to us. Once again, we thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support, and we cannot wait for you to tune in for season 4.
Don't just listen to Future Educators Talk on your smartphone. Continue the conversation online. Like us on Facebook. Be a part of our conversation by telling us what you think of our episodes. Join us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content. Follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with what's happening on our podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss future episodes. And beyond, it's you who keeps Future Educators Talk going. So like, comment, share, subscribe, review, and connect everywhere with us you get social. So let's listen together.